was all a dream.
So, what would you little maniacs like to do first?
Let's start dreaming.
It alters your life and you never think the same again.
Some dumb thing on the edges of nowhere.
A collection of question marks stuck together into a pit of darkness. No logic, no reason, no explanation.
We can change it anytime we want. It's only a choice between fear and love.
That's just deep, bro. That's deep.
What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to the L.S.D. podcast. That's the Lipstick Douchebags podcast. Originally, we were going to be wearing lipstick for every episode, but we canned the idea because it didn't look great on camera. And on
you, it didn't look great. On me, well, damn, hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your husbands, hide your boyfriends, and hide your girlfriends, because I would be snatching all of them.
Well, Mikey looked like, for some reason, he just really liked that, like, very prostitute, super red and kind of sloppy makeup look.
Yeah, I got some right here.
Yeah.
I look great. But
no,
what's your name, Carson?
Oh yeah, shit, I forgot to say my name. My name is Carson McGregor.
And I am Mikey. No last name.
No last name?
Nope.
I put title cards below us every episode.
It's fucking wrong, I'll tell you that.
You want me to, like, censor your last name out?
No.
Are you on the run from something?
I'm pleading the fifth right now by being silent.
Okay. All right, so there you have it, folks. Mikey is on the run for a brutal triple murder.
And I hope you enjoyed today's episode, everybody. Please make sure to like, comment, rate, and subscribe. This is Mikey, no last name, signing out. Oh, yeah, no. Dude, but that's stupid. Like, that makes me think of, like, incriminating yourself, like Bobby Shmurda or AK-47, how they just fucking literally incriminate themselves, and in Shmurda's case, their whole crew, through a rap song. Like, he literally fucked his whole gang up so hard just by, like, making a fire song like 2013, 2014.
You know what gets me about Shmurda is everybody's talking this, like, oh, free Shmurda. Like, when Shmurda gets out, it's going to be over, man. He's going to drop so much fire. Like, what?
Is he?
Dude had one song. I mean, at this point, he's a one-hit wonder. Like, TK.
He had his mixtape. I never listened to it.
It's not great. It's not awesome. Like, I did listen to his mixtape, and it's just, like, it's okay. It's very middle of the road. And, like, TK album was actually, like, I think all in all pretty good. And
I like TK's album.
Yeah, I remember we used to listen to that shit all the time. Like, the whole thing. Like, the deep cuts from that project, we were listening to that shit.
But that is his music career. That guy's done. Like,
oh yeah.
He's in the slammer for the next 50 years, bro. He's about to be like 70 when he comes out. Oh, man, that's so fucked up. I mean, yeah, he did murder somebody. Maybe two?
I think he murdered more than one person. I don't remember if it's like 2 or 3, but I think it's like they got him on a couple.
But the concept of him, like, making that song and it actually being a reality, that's pretty hard. Like, I'll admit that's pretty hard. Obviously murder's bad, but, like, yo, we'll take it. I don't think you want no action. What do you say? I don't take it. I don't think you want no action. You get
I'll turn you into past tense.
Yeah,
yeah, which is actually a pretty crazy good line.
That song was bars. Fuck a beat. I was trying to beat a case, but I ain't beat that case, bitch. I did the race. He literally was on the race, posing it in front of his own fucking wanted signs. I'm pretty sure those were real.
Like, that is so ridiculously stupid. Like, it's a personal life decision.
Yeah. Cut your ankle bracelet and just go running.
I mean, I don't know what you do. I don't know how you get away. All right, say, Mikey, say you committed, like, 2 murders and they're onto you. Like, they kind of know you did it, so they're looking for you. But they don't really have much information about your whereabouts. What are you doing right now? They know where you live, so you can't obviously be at your house. What are you doing right now to get away from that? There's, like, no options.
I'm going on the dark net. I am getting a new passport, a new SSN, and I'm fleeing the country. I'm getting out of the country however I can. If you're on the radar, can you leave?
What do you mean?
I don't think you can. Like okay, like I'm in the situation you just said. Like they kind of are suspecting you. Like, are you allowed to leave? Like, you might get you might run into some trouble trying to cross the border. If I'm not mistaken, maybe not though. I don't know.
I think
But either way,
I think
I'm trying to change
crossing
my identity.
into Canada or Mexico is a lot easier without proper identification than going back in. Like I've heard stories of people trying to like do nefarious shit by crossing the border, mostly smuggle drugs, and they're like, yeah, like getting out of the United States, like you sometimes they don't even ask you for your ID. They're just like, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, what happens if you're like trying to get out of the United States and you got like a white guy in your trunk, and then the Mexican border patrol is like, they're like looking through your car, they're like, what the fuck? Why are you smuggling this white guy? What's going on here? Like,
we're going to Mexico for a better life.
like, okay.
All right, go ahead, man.
Oh man, and Shmurda's song too though, like he's like, yeah, and my boy Johnny, he had the 12, and Robbie, he buried that body in Central Park.
It was 11:36 p.m.
There were fingerprints on the Glock 9 that he bought at Tony's gun store on 12th Street on 11/12/2008.
He bought it out the back from a guy named Ricky who scratches the serial numbers off the blickies.
Oh my god.
We threw it in a sewer 2 miles from the crime scene.
And we tossed the bullet shells in 12th Street's trash can. Oh, I already said 12th Street. But maybe he was just on 12th Street a lot.
Seems like it. Yeah, no, that is the dumbest shit, to incriminate yourself that hard in a song. Like if you're you can be vague about it. Like there's plenty of artists out there that I think, have committed actual crimes and they speak very vaguely about it in their lyrics.
That's the thing. You kind of can get into details. But like there must have been a case on them before. Like an investigation before, and then that was the evidence. But like you can't, I don't think you can outright like say like, oh, your song says this, so like let's get you. Because like, respect to people that are rapping on real shit. Like Lil Tecca was like, I got black, I got white, what you want? He's talking about like he got the Fendi and the Prada, and he's like on his like Genius interview, he's like, I don't have any of those. Like,
yeah,
you faker. But I'm sure everyone can't be real about that. I mean, that's expensive stuff. But it seems to be all the hype nowadays for some reason. And people are only rapping about it because they do have it. Like, that's why people started rapping about it in the first place, I'm pretty sure. Perhaps.
Well, I think, hip-hop has always been super braggadocious. It started out with like, I'm the best rapper. I'm the coldest rhymer. My lines are way better than yours type shit. And then it kind of at a certain point evolved into flashy shit. It's like I'm the best dressed. I got the best jewelry. I got the best cars, the best women. And I think where that comes from, if I had to wager a guess, I'm not really versed on the hip hop history that specifically, but I think it's because battle rap was a big part of hip hop's come up, is just kind of like going against another person. Not even necessarily in what we would call now a battle, which is like very 1v1, like going at somebody else's neck. But it's like kind of battling ciphers. One guy would go up and then the next guy would go up and it would be like, who's better, this guy or that guy? And, you're trying to flex. You're trying to like be like, well, this is why I'm better than this guy because I got all the cool shit. I got all the expensive, nice shit. I got all the finest hoes, whatever.
The finest caliber of whores and all of the Bronx. If I do say so myself.
Yeah, no, I remember... I remember watching this Doom interview. I know I talk about Doom sometimes, but what I thought was really cool about his breaking down of hip hop and why he decided to wear a mask. If you don't know, audience, this guy I'm talking about, MF Doom, he wears a mask and he doesn't really show his face publicly, even though his identity is known. It's just kind of a character he does, and he just doesn't really go out without the mask. And the reason he does that is because he grew up in a time when hip hop was just tapes. It was just you didn't see the guy, you didn't see the rapper. You could listen to a guy for years and not know what he looked like. Like you were just listening to the sound of his voice, and so it was all about the content, all about the actual rhymes and the bars themselves. And he's like, rap became at a certain point
Dang.
about image. And he's like, that I never fucked with that. I never fucked with the whole image thing. So I kind of went away from that and decided to be this like anonymous figure, which I think is pretty cool.
It's cool. It's an interesting concept of how, image and popularity and celebrityness, I don't think that's a word, but I'm saying it anyways, have just become so intertwined. Because,
Yeah.
I do believe that, like, some people deserve to be a celebrity because of how they act. They're good role models. Like,
Oh, yeah.
someone's public image, they're just so helpful and kind and happy. But also they make fire music, too. Like, they deserve something well. Very, very well.
Well, I think you deserve. So I don't think anybody
Not
deserves
deserve.
celebrity.
Okay, not deserve.
Yeah,
not
that's
deserve.
like nobody deserves to be famous. But I think if we're gonna break it down to that, like who deserves fame and celebrity? Obviously, people with a really good message and with really good
And
morals.
also talent.
Yeah, no, that's the second tier. I think the first tier is people that have something genuinely good to spread, like a good message to spread. That is number one. Number two is people that at any particular art form or whatever it may be, a sport, any profession that people want to pay attention to, that they're really fucking good at it. That's number two. And then I don't even know what's past that, because we've kind of muddied the waters where anybody that's remotely interesting is given celebrity. And honestly,
Like
a lot
nowadays?
of and a lot of people who are not talented and also not good people and don't have a good message to spread get way more famous because they're interesting, like just who they are. It's like watching a show. You're watching like this fucking craziness occur, and like you just want to see what's the most wild, quote unquote, savage shit they're gonna do.
It always puzzles me sometimes how like bad people get to the top, and I mean it's not that puzzling when you really look at it. But like, I'm always a believer that like good things spread by nature, and like just being good and being yourself will get you to some far places. But like, and I guess a lot of people aren't inherently bad. Like they get rich and famous, and then they start doing bad shit because they're like, oh, I got all this money and I've done everything that I really wanted to do. Like, let me just grab a 14-year-old and pee on her.
I think that example is inherent bad. If you're talking about Kelly, like that's inherent bad. That's somebody that was not a good guy who rose to the top and was able to cover up his misdoings with money and fame and talent.
R. Kelly's crazy, man. They got so much shit on him, don't they? So much video evidence.
R. Kelly's a funny one because he had a case, or had these allegations that he was sexually involved with like a 13-year-old girl or whatever. I can't remember the exact age, but there was like a video of him having sex with this girl and peeing on her, and that's like why everybody talks about the R. Kelly pee tape.
Piss on R. Kelly, that's a bar.
Yeah, and
I'll say sometimes.
I think he was able to get out of it by claiming, or his legal team claiming, that it's actually not him in the video, but it fucking is. It like absolutely, it absolutely is. But it's like obscure enough that you could totally, if you have a good enough team behind you, you could claim it's not. And and then when it all came crashing down recently, his whole career came crashing down. It was because of allegations of all these other girls that like he kept them locked up in his house. And he was kind of running like a fucking harem of like underage girls, and he just wasn't getting caught because if anybody tried to go against him, he would either pay them off or ruin them. And and a lot of them didn't come out with their stories because they were afraid of that.
That's fucked up. That's really fucked up. And I guess that's a reality to them, which is even scarier. Most I know about R. Kelly is just from the Dave Chappelle special that came out recently. Or not recently, but like the last year.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
It's always so cool seeing, like I think we've talked about this before, but just hearing, like, a comedian, like, push it, the boundaries. Like, he was talking about Michael Jackson and, like, touching kids and shit. And I was like, oh, my God. Like, am I allowed to laugh? But, like, yeah, no, I was allowed to laugh because it's a comedy show, people. Comedy.
Well, you're always allowed to laugh at what you find funny. Humor is subjective, and a lot of people like humor that pushes the boundaries of what's right, what's wrong. I remember that special. I remember that bit where he was talking about R. Kelly, and he was saying, because it was 15, because he was talking about it in the context of the age of 15. And he said that the girl in the video was 15. He said, well, we have to ask ourselves, how old is 15 really? And that was like the point where the audience pulled back and they were like, whoa, like, what are you about to say, Dave? And then he broke it down in all these different ways, being like, well, this girl, got kidnapped at 15 and she wasn't even able to find her way home, and she made all these stupid decisions after being kidnapped. And you say, well, Dave, she's only 15. It's like, well, how about this other kid who, killed his buddy accidentally while practicing wrestling, and they gave him life in prison? Like, he was 15. And so, like, how old is 15? Like, we got to, like, draw a hard line. And he made a bunch of really, like, quote unquote offensive comments in there. Like, he was talking about Elizabeth Smart, who was a victim of kidnapping, and he was like calling her an idiot. He was calling her stupid. He was like,
oh my God,
like, bitch, you were this close to your house. Why couldn't you get out? You were caught, like, you were kidnapped for like months. Like, I remember the greatest joke in that, like, one of my favorite lines in that whole spiel was, he said, dude, you can't, if you kidnap me, you gotta take me more than a couple miles away from my house. You can't kidnap me around shit that I recognize.
That's crazy. I didn't know he did that.
He said, fuck off me, man. This is my bus stop. That's a good one.
That really sounds like it is pushing it, though. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of kidnapping, like especially Stockholm Syndrome. That's kind of crazy. Is that the right one? Where they fall in love with the kidnapper?
Yeah, where they... I mean, well, from a premise of pushing it, yes, he is pushing the boundaries. He's definitely talking about something controversial, and he's doing it in a controversial way. But he's also fucking around. He's obviously being ridiculous and over the top. And I think anybody that's seeing it in context of the rest of what he's doing, you're like, obviously he's joking. Like, he's making a sort of point that it's like, we do as a society have to draw a line. Like, how old is 15? How old are, like, when does somebody really mature enough to do these certain things, participate in these certain activities? Like, okay, maybe she's not old enough to consent to sexual activity with an adult, but maybe she is old enough to do this, but maybe not. Like, we have to discuss these things. Just because they're uncomfortable doesn't mean we shouldn't talk about them.
Yeah, that is cool that you can open up a dialogue like that about many other things, too, through comedy. Like, damn.
Yeah, because, like, the overall point is not controversial, in my opinion. Like, his overall point to the whole thing that he's trying, the point he's actually trying to make isn't controversial. He's using controversial examples to make it hilarious, and that's where the art comes in. That's where the artistic brain comes in. It's like, all right, how can I make this as funny as possible by using something that's relevant? And also, I find it so fascinating when comedians are able to take a subject that nobody wants to laugh at, a subject that absolutely nobody in your circle of friends would even joke about, because it's like so fucked up, and we don't talk about that in that context, and they're able to make it funny because of how good they are. Like, that is a skill.
That sounds pretty impressive. That does sound pretty impressive. So I think the real question we can draw from this is Dave Chappelle fucking 15-year-olds?
Probably not.
I thought you were gonna say probably.
Probably not. No. I would say he's definitely not. I don't know
happy
the
with
guy.
His wife, maybe.
Yeah, he's probably pretty happy with his wife. He's
millions.
He's doing some pretty cool shit these days. During COVID, he started this commune out in I think he's in Ohio is where he lives.
God, what a horrible place.
Well, he lives out in like farm country Ohio. And
on that same special, I think he was talking about his Ohio house and some like meth head trying to break in, but that's besides the point. Go ahead.
That was a different special. But yeah, no, he does live in this like farm country, bumfuck nowhere, Ohio, and I think as a famous person, that's the right thing to do. Dave went to Africa for a couple of years to get out of fame and to kind of like break away from the Chappelle Show thing, because everybody was recognizing him and he was under all this pressure of Hollywood, and he wanted to break away from the machine for a while, so he kind of made himself an anonymous figure in another country. But I think that's his reasoning for kind of moving to a really secluded place.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
It's like he wants the small town vibe, but he's set up this commune where he's bringing in all these like crazy high level comedians, crazy high level musicians, and bringing them all together for a very small secretive show. And it's like the names that I've heard coming out of this, like you got people like Lauryn Hill and Common and fucking Bill Burr and just the biggest comedians, the biggest stars in music ever, all coming together to perform for like 100 people, just because they haven't performed in a long time, and they're just like, I want to do something, and it's all in the sake of like, let's get together and do this thing, even though we have to stay apart.
You know, that just makes me think about like, I saw this TikTok one time. It was the Kardashians, all the Kardashians, like sitting down in like a portrait kind of thing, like they're about to get their picture taken. They just FaceTime like different celebrities, like James Charles and like Adele and like Miley Cyrus and like just random celebrities, like.
Yeah.
And it's just like, whoa, do they all know each other? Like, are they all cool like that? That's kind of cool. They're all putting on shows for each other. That's what I thought you were about to say with that show, is that the celebrities are just putting on shows for each other and just entertaining themselves. And that sounds kind of cool. Like, kind of just sounds like all the popular kids at school just hanging out to me. And I wasn't invited, of course.
I mean, it is
group.
An exclusive thing to be in at that level.
I'm sure it's not cheap.
Well,
to go to that show.
Oh yeah. I think it's like an invite thing. I think it's like, it's still expensive, but it's like only certain people are even getting that invite to go to that show, because it's so small and the performance is so high level that it's like everybody would pay. Like anybody that likes comedy and music and has semi-disposable money would jump at the opportunity to travel to Ohio and do, like, dude, if I got a ticket to that shit, I would quit both of my jobs just to go see that show. I'd find fucking new jobs. I'd find them.
Hell yeah.
Like, I would find new jobs when I get back. I'll worry about that shit later.
Have you ever seen Dave? You haven't seen Dave live. I don't know. Do people ever see Dave live? Is that exclusive?
No, I mean, he does shows around the country pre-COVID.
But when we were talking about money, I wanted to talk about money gurus right now and how fucking stupid they are sometimes. Literally, like, there's people on YouTube, like, they're literally selling their lifestyle, flexing on videos, like, oh, you want this watch, you want these women, you want this jet. All they do is sell confidence. Yet they package it. You have to buy it. You have to buy, like, oh, buy my $10,000 course, my $2,000 course, and I can teach you things to get you rich. And literally all they do is fucking teach you confidence, and they don't actually, like, tell you how to run a business or how to do this and how to do that. And it's the biggest sham in the fucking world. It's like, how do I would never want to be a part of that business. Like, course selling is such a scummy thing to me. Unless you're genuinely trying to sell a good course.
Yeah, that's why Masterclass is so good and it's become so popular, because you know you don't know Masterclass.
Oh.
There's ads for it on like every YouTube video.
Never.
You've seen it. Yeah, I know for a fact
Maybe.
You've seen it.
Maybe I just skipped it, but
and it's basically this kind of a Netflix type of thing where it's like all these lessons are on this one service, and you pay the money and you view them all. It's like, I think it's like $150 for a year of it, because it's like a lot of like high level shit. You know, you got like Neil deGrasse Tyson teaching you in depth about astrophysics. You got Steve Martin teaching you in depth about comedy. You have like the best of the best in every field teaching you how they did what they did and how they got to the position that they're at. And like music, it's great. You know, hella producer like Timbaland is on there. It's like, this is how you make beats, this is how you do it at my level.
Wow.
You know, you got like the greatest guitar players in the world doing that type of shit. But when it comes to gurus selling you shit online, financial gurus are the tip of the iceberg, bro. They're the tip of the fucking iceberg. Have you seen dating gurus?
Actually, someone I know, he with my older brother's friend, he got ripped for whatever reason. I think he took some roids too. But in his bio on Instagram, he's a dating coach. And I just don't know how that goes. I'm sure all he does is sell confidence. But I don't know. That might be a sham.
It's snake oil, man. It's not anything. Unless you, I mean, I don't even know what a dating coach is. I'm gonna need you to have like a master's in something related to human connection. You know, you're gonna need to have credentials. You know,
what's your credentials? My
like,
body counts 100.
If you're like,
and I only paid for 98.
like, I'm a professional psychiatrist. Like, that is like my actual title, but I have become, you know, a professional dating coach because I know, you know, how the human mind works, and I know how people interact with other people and why they do certain things, and I can kind of solve these problems in your relationships and in that part of your life. That is 100% valid. But somebody that's just like, oh, dude, I've gotten all this scush throughout the years. You know me. Like, I'm like knee deep every day of the week. And that's not somebody I want to pay $60 to see what his opinion is about shit. Because most of those guys, I've seen like review videos where people kind of expose those dating gurus, and they go through their whole lesson in their course, and they just kind of, you know, make fun of it. And a lot of it
I want to see that. I really want to see that now.
Dude, it's mostly just like really surface level mean shit, like negging.
That's the thing. A lot of these people are mean, like the gurus, like aggressively, like, why aren't you fucking rich yet? What the fuck are you doing right now? Oh my god, like that's what were you?
Well, like for a financial one, they'd be like, first thing you got to do, cut off your family completely. They're just holding you back. Second thing you got to do, embezzle. Like, they have the worst advice that's like, this'll work. It worked for me. And for dating gurus, it's like, all right, what you got to do is you got to, if you see a girl in your life that you really want to, you know, build something with, first thing you got to do is just tear her down emotionally, make her feel like garbage.
What?
And once you do that, she'll be begging for your approval. That's what she wants. Once you start to just absolutely destroy her and make it clear that you find all these flaws in her, she'll want to impress you. So in that process, she'll be building connection with you, and then it's a concept called negging that has been widely criticized by many a people. Because it's super unhealthy and gross and
yeah, it sounds
and mean.
It sounds like it could work. I'm saying it could, but like no, that's not something I would do. But like that's like the thing I see someone do, and I like one of my friends, it's a girl, like happens to her, and I just be telling her like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, are you stupid? And that person would probably just be like, oh my, but he's so hot, like, you know. But it also have to.
It's not. I don't think it's stupidity. I don't think it's stupidity. I think it's you know,
like
I think
a biological thing.
Well, it's natural. It's not. That's not a female thing for sure. That's just a human thing. Is you want approval. People just want to be liked by other people. It's very rare, few and far between, you find people that genuinely do not give a fuck what other people think at a massive scale. They just don't care about what anybody thinks. So generally, people want other people to like them. And if
that's
somebody,
what I was gonna say is that like how you have to be some type of person to be able to care about some random person giving you shit, you know? Like, instead of just like blocking them, like, okay, well, obviously you're an asshole. Like you have to be able to let it affect you, which is what you were saying. It's just not everybody just can shake it off and be like, oh, I don't give a fuck, like, you know?
Yeah, I think most people are like, I think most people, if somebody's like in your life, you know, maybe you work with them, maybe you just see them often socially or whatever, and they're consistently just like pointing out flaws in you subtly, or, you know, it doesn't seem like they like you, they're kind of cold to you, your natural human compulsion is just to be like, please like me, let me do all these things to make you like me, I'm gonna do nice things for you, and I'm gonna be my best self for you, I'm gonna put on a face for you so that maybe you'll think I'm cool, or maybe you'll want me in some way. And
ladies, gentlemen,
it's really unhealthy. Sorry.
No, I don't say sorry. I just interrupted you a little bit. But ladies, gentlemen, do not subject yourself to that. What is it called? Negging? Please
Negging,
don't.
yeah.
Please don't. Unless you're like role playing with your partner and you have like this 1 month period of where you're trying to like really get into the role play, so you guys like act like you don't know each other, and then You feel like you're strangers, and then you neg each other. And
That's
some
a
intricate
really
role play.
I mean, that's really over the top if you're gonna go through all that.
Some people have time. Maybe I'll get to the point one day where I can do some crazy role playing like that. But
and
yeah,
not to be confused, by the way, all this with pegging, that is awesome, and
oh yeah,
you should try it for sure.
Yeah. I've never actually done it. I think I'd be into it though. Well, that's between you and I, chat. Actually, it's with the whole internet now. So whoever feels like it, they can take this audio clip of me saying, "I, Michael Gianelli, enjoy pegging." They can put it anywhere.
Did you just call the audience chat? This isn't Twitch.
Okay, chat. Oh, man. But as I look at the clock, looks like we're running out of time. My camera just died. I'm about to roll it again. But please comment, like, rate, subscribe to the video. We would very much appreciate that. Please stream our music. We drop videos every Sunday and every Wednesday at 8 p.m. sharp. So be there or be square. My name is Mikey. I'm signing out.
And
Carson, do you have anything to add?
yeah, and check out my podcast. Comes out every Tuesday, called the Shock Therapy Podcast on this channel. I'm really excited for the one that dropped the day before this episode you're watching right now dropped. It's where I went on Reddit on the r/unpopular opinion thread and just kind of like, parsed over some of the ideas, some of the things that people thought were popular or unpopular opinions, and either gave my thoughts on those things. So check that out. It was a lot of fun, and everything Mikey just said. Subscribe to the channel, do all that good stuff. Click the bell. I'm signing out.
Been feeling disconnected now. I get money. No, I'm reckless now. I get high, coming off the ground. This life is a prison. Someone let me out. Been feeling disconnected now. I get money. No, I'm reckless now. I get high, coming off the ground. This life is a prison. Someone let me out.